Good morning, Las Vegas, and everyone else. Sick and tired here, and today we're going to Twitter because it's Friday, and that's what we do on Fridays, is we hang out at Twitter. And if you'd like, you can follow me on Twitter at SamFireAndBlood. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into these crazy Twitter posts. Today marks 8 years since Jon Snow was resurrected for absolutely nothing. We remember. Oh yes, we remember.
The North remembers.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see a woman with one of these? The first thing that comes to my mind is, ow, does it hurt? I mean, like, really though, does it hurt? Be honest. I don't know what else. Actually, I'm on Twitter enough. I know what everybody else thinks. I don't see anything wrong with this, do you? So we got a daddy with, it looks like 5 kiddos, and they are on leashes. Someone says they are humans, not dogs. Kentucky dad of quintuplet shamed for walking his kids on a leash. Now, my first instinct is to say, shame on this dad. And then I had to pull back and be like, well, wait a minute. You know, I only had one child. And I know how crafty they can be, just one. So I couldn't imagine chasing around 5, and they all look like they're really close in age. Oh, they're quintuplets. Okay, so yeah, they're all the exact same age, and they're fast, and they dart away. So then after I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I bet this is just what he kind of has to do to keep his kids safe. So I will not say shame on this dad. I will actually say, good job, dad, keeping your kids safe. Okay, so now this is a real debate here. Dark chocolate tastes so effing bad and it's not healthier. Which chocolate tastes the worst? You got white chocolate, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate. Now, it may come as no surprise to you because of how much I talk about coffee. And I've mentioned before, I like my coffee really bitter and strong, that if my chocolate is not as black as the asphalt outside, I probably am not going to really care for it.
It's pretty black, man.
And yes, I'm exaggerating. I love dark chocolate, and the darker the better. I absolutely love it. I do love that bitter kind of taste. I just do. I like milk chocolate too, but I prefer dark. I hate white chocolate. I think it's disgusting. I absolutely hate it. So go ahead and start fighting in the comments over which chocolate you will, write at dawn for. We'll see which one comes out on top. I would assume that milk chocolate would come out on top because a lot of people like it and the other two seem kind of divisive. At least I think so. I don't know. Maybe everybody likes white chocolate and I'm just weird. Just read a story about a couple with a 5-year-old girl and the husband demanded a DNA test because the child looked nothing like him. Turns out she wasn't his, but the wife swore she didn't cheat. She also took a DNA test, and the girl wasn't hers either. How? How is that possible? Women should not be cops along with leaders, CEOs, and politicians, and. You know what? You see how much of this I haven't drank yet? So forgive me for not coming up with a more colorful way of saying, go fuck yourself. What are the odds of this happening? Oh my gosh. Oh, I hope that person was okay. Oh, you know what? I grew up in Indiana and they have those big storm drains out there, like in It, where the kid crawls down and he's looking. I don't know if all of you are as old as I am. In the movie Now and Then, when one of the girls falls in, oh my gosh, that was like one of my biggest fears growing up. And I hope that person was okay. That was scary. Dr. Sydney Watson. Now, Sydney Watson is, I've mentioned before, is somebody that I feel like I either agree with her completely or I think she just has some of the stupidest takes ever. That being said, I really would like to sit down and talk to her and pick her brain still. However, this one is one that I can't get behind. I miss people being attractive and making an effort with their appearances. That is just such a smug thing to say. I genuinely hate this period of time where people think it's appropriate to go out looking like saggy bags of cheese. Sydney, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but not everybody's doing everything for you, or anybody else for that matter. Sorry, but I'm not putting on my Sunday best to go to Walmart. I don't give 2 shits what anybody thinks. I'm gonna wear what I want. You need to get over yourself a little bit, sweetheart.
Nothing, period.
Savannah says, this is a very smart woman. Am I the asshole for telling my husband that he needs to give me half his company if he wants me to be a housewife? Ooh, I am intrigued. Let's read. My husband and I, both 35, have been married for 6 years, and we have 2 children together and one on the way. He said that he wanted me to be a housewife and stop working. I was very disturbed by that, but he explained that it was better for our family and children since he can afford very good living. After a few weeks thinking, I told him that I would agree, but only if I get half his company. He was surprised by this, but I explained further that the more I stay at home, the less chance I would have to find a well-paying job should we ever divorce, because I would have less merits while he would stay making more money each year. So I want half of the company. If we never divorce, which is the goal of all marriages, then why would it matter? But should it end, it would be the price of me staying home and raising our children so he could be less worried and stressed out, his words, that he would be less anxious and stressed out if he knew they were with me rather than with strangers in daycare or nannies. When I told my friends, they called me the asshole. My best friend was very angry and called me disgusting. Oh my. I don't know how I feel about it. What do you guys think? I think I see where both people are coming from. I do. She's wanting security that if they ever get divorced, that she isn't just going to be out on the streets, because she hasn't worked and she doesn't have funds saved up or whatever. So she's worried about that. He wants a mommy at home to take care of his kids and all that. And if she's okay with that, then I say, yeah, if you guys can afford it, then I can understand where he's coming from too. I don't think either one of them are the assholes here. Maybe I'm just not understanding, but I'll leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you, my loves. I wasn't alive in the 80s. Is this true? Wait a minute, Travis, didn't you ask something similar about kids being able to play? I think he did. I think we've seen him before. For about 3 straight years in the late 1980s, the only dinner eaten in America was spaghetti and meatballs, supermarket garlic bread, and an iceberg lettuce salad. So is it true, he's asking? If I'm being perfectly honest, this is something that we ate a lot growing up. And I think that's because it was so cheap. Pasta, and I'm telling, like back then.
Back in my day.
I know that you could get a box of pasta for like 50 cents. Sauce isn't expensive. Ground beef used to not be that expensive either, especially if you got like the cheap, real fatty. Iceberg lettuce, not even $1. It was a very cheap meal. I was extremely poor growing up. So we ate this a lot. We also ate like chicken legs, chicken thighs. Those were always really cheap. You could get a whole pack for like $4 and then you could split that up. So yeah, I mean, I could see this and sounds and looks delicious. Like I would eat this right now. Reddit atheist's husband has converted to Christianity. Let's see some of the responses. Okay, so this is going to be a hot topic and kind of divisive. My husband has converted and I can't get past it. I'm at a loss. My husband's very religious, fundamentalist, evangelical father passed away, and now my husband of over a decade has decided to become a Christian. I thought it was a phase, a way for him to reconnect with his deceased father, but it's been months and he's fully committed. I hate how unaccepting and unsupportive I'm being, but I find religion repulsive. We met as atheists and I've always been more anti-theist than him. This feels like a betrayal and I feel like I don't know him anymore. I've started seeing a therapist to help me navigate this, but they don't seem to have any advice, just empathy. How would you deal with this? Would it be a deal breaker for you? I would love to talk to someone who understands how I'm feeling. It's really lonely and isolating, and I feel like a huge bigot, but I never would have chosen to marry a religious person. So, me personally, and I'll say that again, this is my personal opinion. Would it be a deal breaker for you? No, it wouldn't. If my husband, me and my husband are not religious people. If my husband somehow turned to God and became religious and for whatever reasons, it wouldn't bother me. I've always considered myself a little bit more of an agnostic though than an atheist. And I think that's just the hopeful side of me. I just can't call myself an atheist because it's just too black and white. It's just too final. It's scary. I just don't feel it in my heart. I feel like if the strongest thing you guys have in common is your religions, I don't think that's very much to base a marriage off of. I don't think that's strong enough. There should be other things that you guys have that is stronger than that and that can support your foundation through somebody deciding to change their religions. If he is beating you over the head with it though, shoving it down your throat, trying to get you to go to church, trying to get you to believe what he believes, then I would say, okay, you need to sit down and say, hey, look, no, that's never going to happen. I'll support you in your decision, but you need to support me in the way that I think too. Blade of the Sun says, seems fair to me. Not allowed to work from home, so I don't. My job recently told me that even during the snowstorm we got earlier this week, I am not allowed to work from home at all. Even though I work in IT and do everything remotely, they want me in the office. So I deleted Teams and my email off my phone. I am no longer available after hours. My boss tried to call me for something urgent last night and couldn't reach me. He asked why today, and I explained to him what I was told. I am not allowed to work from home. That is petty, but it's the kind of petty I can get behind. Here's why I'll be keeping my shoes on in your shoeless home. Why are you assuming that your guests' shoes are dirtier than your floors? Ashley says, because I clean my floors and people rarely clean the bottom of their shoes. I don't really care about this. Like, I don't make people take their shoes off when they come in my house. Rarely anybody that I visit out here, they ask me to take my shoes off. It's very rare. It really is. That could be because a lot of people out here have hardwood floors and it keeps the house a little bit cooler when you have hardwood floors and tiles and stuff like that. So that could be why it's not carpet that's getting stained or anything. But it's just not something that I'm passionate about. And I know a lot of people get really upset over it, but I guess if you have little babies though, crawling around, like, you would want to make sure that people don't track crap in on the floor. I paid off my entire credit card balance last week. I just got a notification that my score dropped 17 points because of it. Our entire system is a joke. So I read a lot of comments of this guy saying like, oh yeah, they're trying to screw us now and things have changed and blah, blah. Like, this is something, it's always been like this. When I got my first credit card when I was 19, I remember my mom telling me you want to pay off a certain percentage so that your credit score goes up. And I was like, why don't I just pay the whole thing off? She's like, no, you don't want to do that. That'll hurt your credit. So that is a thing. And yes, it is bullshit. I agree. It's stupid. I wish they would do away with the whole credit system. Tiffany Lockhart, which is such a cute name because it's like Tifa Lockhart. Oh, it's weird how people undermine having 12 viewers on Twitch. Imagine having 12 people chilling with you in real life at the same time. Social media really ruins some people's mindsets. You know, when I read this, I stopped for a second. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's right. Embrace your viewers, no matter how many you have. This is what driving the speed limit on the highway feels like. This is so true. I always do the speed limit. I drive like a grandma. If you will really look at the picture here, all the people around him are the ones peeing in the pool and he's not. And that's because he's surrounded by assholes. He's not the asshole. You see? Rothmus says, sigh. This is another one of those accounts where I either totally agree with him or totally disagree with him. Molly 26. My husband is in the Marines and is constantly deployed. I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm looking for temporary fun as known as sex while he is gone. I'm not looking to change my situation. Please be attractive, smart, disease and drug-free. Discretion is a must. I do not want him finding out. Well, I don't think that's going to happen because on the very bottom it says, hey boys, let's help a Marine out and make this viral. Shame on you, Molly.
Shame.
I don't care where the pedophiles are hiding. I don't care if it's Catholic churches or Protestant churches or public schools or private schools or homeschools or Congress or Hollywood or right or left. I just want them all caught and executed. Yes, ma'am. Only in Japan could this work. A young woman caught a home run ball hit by Japanese MLB superstar Shohei Ohtani during the World Baseball Classic. And someone next to her wanted to see the ball, and it eventually got passed around the stadium to whoever wanted to see it, and it was returned to her after everyone got their turn. Yeah, I don't see that happening here in America. All right, that's all the crazy Twitter posts I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, you can follow me on Twitter if you'd like at SamFireandBlood. And until next time, I hope your magic is strong. Hope your symptoms are low. Bye.